Hello everyone. So this is second part of Raspberry Pi keypad interface. In first part we have discussed about the theory and code, right? In this part I will explain you the code once again and connections, and then finally we will run this code on actual hardware, okay, which you can see in the image in the video, right? So this is what the hardware, and you can see these are the connections, these are the pins. And again, for this keypad I'm using AVR development board, and here you can see this is the keypad. These are the pins, right? Row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, right? And these are the 16 keys, right? You can see. And we have connected these pins with these GPIOs of Raspberry Pi. Okay, so column 1 with 15 number pin, column 2 with 16, column 3 with 18, and column 4 with 22. Same way for rows, right? So these are the connections, right? Now this is the code. So first, importing modules, right? We will going to use this module in our code. Then this is the column and row declaration part. So here we are creating two lists with column with GPIO or pin number of the Raspberry Pi board, with which column 1, column 2, column 3, and column 4 are connected. Same way this is for rows. Then GPIO.set mode, we are setting this mode as a baud mode. Okay, so this number will consider as a physical count. This we have already discussed in our earlier videos. Then these two function basically will set rows as an output, column as an input. After setting all the rows as an output, you can see here we are using for loop for pin in row list. So it will set one by one all the rows as an output, and by setting, after setting this rows as an output, it will also write high on all the rows. So by default rows will be 1 1 1 1, and in this for loop you can see this function will set all the columns as an input, okay, one by one, and it will make them default high. Pull up means default high. So now all the columns will be high, all the rows will be high. Rows will be out set as an output, column will be set as an input. So we will going to read from the column, we will going to write on the rows. Okay, this is as per our theory. Now this is key map. It's a two-dimensional what we can say, a list of list. You can consider as a two-dimensional array. So this is column 1, row 1, this is row 2, this is row 3, this is row 4. So we will use this for mapping specific key. Okay, so this is just for what value you want for specific key. This is what it is, right? So let us say for column 1, column and row 1, for this specific key, if I want 1, then I have to declare this as a 1. Now instead of 1 for this particular key, if I want what we can say A, then I have to write A. Okay, so whatever user will press on specific key on the this terminal, it will print this value, right? So this is what key map is, right? And this is the main function. Okay, and in this function, whatever we have discussed in the theory, this function will do the same thing. First it will write row 0 one by one. Okay, so let us say initially all the rows were high. Then first time when this function will call, it will set one particular row as a low, okay, 0. Then it will read all the columns, okay, and it will store the result as a list in this result variable. So basically what it will do, it will read column 1, column 2, column 3 and column 4, and by default uh, it is in pull up condition. So if all the switches are open, means if user have not pressed any of the switch, then result will be 1 1 1 1, right? And this loop will check the minimum element of the list, and you can see if all the switches are open, then minimum element will be 1. So this condition will not satisfied, so it will not execute this thing, and it will simply make last row high. Okay, so whatever row this function will make low, it will again make it high, and it will go for next iteration, and in next iteration it will make another row low. Okay, for next pattern, then again 1 0 1 1, then 0 1 1 1, and again it will repeat this thing continuously. Now let us say for this specific pattern, if we got this type of result 1 1 0 1, it means that this column of 1, and since it is starting from 0, right? So here you can see it is starting from 0. Let me write in this way, right? So yes, since it is starting from 0, so it will check this 0, then 1, this is 1 2 and 3. So if we will get this pattern, it means that on column 2 we have this 0 value. It means that our rows pattern was this, and we received this on column. It means row 2 and column 2 we have a switch pressed, we have short circuit, or you can say user have pressed this switch. Okay, and from this only it will simply identify this number 5. Okay, second row, second column, so it will return 5, and this is what this function will do. It will simply use this key map as a first index row and second index column, result index, whatever index having 0 value, it will return this. So key map 2 2 will give this 5. So now key is equal to 5, and it will return this 5. Okay, and before returning, it will simply make that particular row high, so it will ready for next pattern. So this is what this function will do. It will simply map the columns and rows, and it will return specific key. So this function will return key. Remember this thing, this function will simply return key. Okay, whatever key user will press, it will return this. Now this is the infinite loop, and in infinite loop you can see we have try except exception. Okay, so this is the main part. So it will simply continuously, it will execute, it will call this function by passing column list and row list. Okay, and it will wait for returning key. If return key is not equal to none, means if this function will return valid key, then it will simply print this message, print you pressed key. Whatever key user will press, it will print, okay, on the terminal, on the shell, and it will wait for 0.3 second, and again it will execute this function continuously. If user will generate any interrupt from the keyboard, right, so it will simply clean up all the GPIO, and it will exit from the code. So this is what the program is. So now let us run this program. Okay, here you can see the hardware, these 16 pins are there. So now let me press first row and first column. So here you can see on the output we have U pressed 1. Now let me press this Y, second row, fourth column, right? Let me press fourth row, fourth column, W, right? So this is how you will get this value. And why you are getting this value? Because it is there in key map. Now let me change this value from X to A, Y to B, Z to C, and W to D. Okay. Now let me stop this execution and rerun this code. And now if I will press this switch, then you will have A, B, C, D instead of X, Y, Z, W, right? So whatever key you want, you have to specify in this key map function. Now in future, in one of the project, we will use this same keypad interface, and we will design password protected system. So we will use same setup. Okay, and user will press password from this keypad. Okay, length we will fix, and then we will store this password in the system. And then for new user, it will ask for password. If user will press same password, then simply it will compare, and it will display message, right, whether password is right or wrong. So this is what for today's. This is how you can interface keypad with Raspberry Pi board. If you find some useful information in my videos, then please like them and please subscribe my channel. Thank you very much.